What's up, guys? Alex here with video number 2, and today's video is going to be a little interesting. It's an unorthodox way of networking that I've done in the past. I got an email here from a follower, and they said, Alex, I'm not the most social type of person, but it's something I want to work on. Any recommendations? Well, you're talking to an interesting person because I used to be a hermit myself, a legitimate hermit in my 20s and even teens, right? I'd go to school and go home. I didn't do anything. I was a total fat nerd, no friends. It was pretty rough in high school. My 20s, I worked 60, 70 hours a week. I'd go home, shower, sleep, read books, watch conspiracy videos on YouTube. And that was my life, my 20s. Very little socializing. Later on in life, in my early 30s especially, I started gaining confidence. I lost weight. I lost 100 pounds. Started hitting the gym, eating healthier. The confidence was just naturally growing. And also, too, as the money started pouring in, I felt like just good, right? And I felt, okay, after a while, now I can start talking to people. I was less embarrassed about myself, how I physically looked, just being broke growing up. So I told myself this. Every time I go out now, wherever I go, restaurant with friends, getting dinner, even if I'm by myself having dinner, I'll do that sometimes after a crazy busy day. If I just need a little alone time, I'll go to a nice steakhouse and just do my thing, right? And relax. But every time I go out, I told myself this. I call it the rule of three, which is get three contacts, exchange contact with three different people. Try your very best to do this. And what's the goal of this, right? Well, here's the goal. You never know who's sitting right next to you. You never know who's sitting right next to you. That could be your next friendship, your next relationship. That could be your next business partner. You might have something where you could offer knowledge or value to that person, or vice versa. They may offer some knowledge or value to you. And what you should want to do is, over time, develop this Rolodex of contacts. And in each contact, put their full name, what they do, where you met, and exchange information and just chat with them. See what happens. You'd be surprised after a month of doing this, or 2 months or 3 months, how many contacts you start to build up. Oh, Jason, I met him at this spot. He does this, this, and that. I actually need this service. Bam. Or a friend of mine needs this service. And then you refer them, right? When you become a person that offers networking skills or value to other friends or family or new friends, right? New contacts, you're indirectly building up your value. But also, too, just think of it as a powerful foundation, right? If you want to, and I'm an entrepreneur, maybe you're an entrepreneur, even if you're not, it's still important, right? You want to build that Rolodex of people. I'm not saying you want to be friends with everybody. That's a different thing, right? Because I have me personally, a small circle of friends, true friends. However, you do want to have a large Rolodex of contacts. Okay? Now, after a few months, you'd be surprised how much value you get out of this. You personally, or the value you provide someone else. Okay? As time passes over the years, here's what's happened to me. I've gotten a ton of business. I've met millionaires. I've met billionaires on accident. I just had a 30-minute conversation with a guy. He's on CNBC talking all the time about finance. Excellent conversation. I gave him my card. I said, here's what my business does. If you ever need our service, keep us in mind. And if not, I enjoyed the conversation. Even if I don't hear from you, thank you for your time. And I learned a lot from him. Excellent. Cool story. I've met people where I've gotten Blackhawks tickets for free. Hey, Alex, I remember meeting you the other day, man. You told me you liked hockey. Here's some free tickets. Let me know. Skybox. Also, too, remember, when you give value to people as well, you want to be used. People are like, oh, I just want, people use you. Yeah, duh, you want to be used. Okay? And I want to use people, too. It goes both ways. Like, why you? That's part of being a person of value. It's like, what do you bring to the table to help people? Is it knowledge? Is it resources? Is it a network of people? So think of it in that way. You want to be useful to people when you're networking as well. So let's say a few months passes by, you have this Rolodex of contacts. it's going to come up a couple of times where you're like, you know what, I need this person, I need this service, I need this product, I need this, or I need this, this, and that. And over a couple of months, when you get all these contacts, you'd be surprised what you get. But also, too, the people, the information and people that come to you as well during this time as well, okay? Also, furthermore, you'd be surprised how beneficial it is to cold approach a random person. So you're not only conquering your fear of just going up to a stranger to talk to them, but this also helps you in other parts of your life as well, as far as risk taking, okay? Like I said, as a former hermit, I was terrified to just go up to a random person and talk to them. But over time, life experiences, accomplishments in life, failures in life, and that was my previous video. If you didn't watch, I talk about the craziness of my life, both extremes, good and bad. But when you go through all these kinds of craziness in your life, right, good and bad, after a while, you're not afraid to talk to people anymore. You feel more open, you feel more curious. And, people are people at the end of the day. Who cares? I've gone up to very beautiful women, and some of them, I said in the previous video too, one was a model top 5 Miss Universe, went on 4 dates or 2 dates with her, hung out with her a couple other times as well. I've met billionaires and millionaires, and some of these people have used my business. And the people you meet, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy who you meet. All you got to do is just say hello. And I think that's something that a lot of people are lacking as well. And here's why. I don't know if it's just the COVID lockdowns, what happened, but people, I think, have gotten a little bit more socially awkward. I've noticed this over the last few years. People, even if you go approach a person to talk, just to compliment or just say hi, see what their story is. I think at first the initial shock, it kind of throws them off, but then after a while they feel like it's appreciated. They feel like, wow, this is nice to talk to someone, right? And this is a skill set. Maybe I'll get into this more in the future, but this is something I've gotten very good at, out of the blue, right? Which is weird because of where I was before to now. It's a complete day and night difference as far as how I approach life and how I approach people, right? And again, it's not only is it the intent, right, of why you're talking to these people, like the benefits you're going to get from them and what the benefits you could offer them as well, but also conquering your fear of doing that. Because if you do that over and over and over and over again, you're a lot more braver. You have a lot more courage to take risks and also do things like this. So I want you guys to try this. The next time you go out, I want you to try to make 3 contacts. Someone nearby at the bar, someone in the restaurant walking around, or even if you're at the gym. Okay? Start building your network and wait 3 months and see what happens after 3 months. Start building your Rolodex and see all the different backgrounds of all these people, and also see what value you offer these people as well. You'd be surprised after a few months how your life's going to change. Hopefully for the better. You might meet some weirdos along the way too, but that's part of life, right? The ups and downs. So I want you guys to try that. And I want to elaborate a little bit more really quick. We've got a few more minutes in this video before we get to 10 minutes. So the other thing I want to say is you have to remember this, that life's better played when you're playing offense. And you're probably wondering, Alex, well, what does that mean, playing offense? Well, here's the thing. When you take risks and go for a shot, that's when the magic really starts to happen, right? When you just shoot first and ask questions later. I've approached women before and I got shot down and embarrassed. At first, it kind of stings. You're embarrassed, right? People are looking, you look awkward. All right, big deal. On to the next one, right? You just brush it off. And then I've hit some home runs, total smoke shows, okay? And then same with other people I've talked to as well. People that were very rude and they're like, who the hell are you? Get the hell away from me. And I'm like, all right, no problem. And then other people I've talked to and they own giant corporations, 500 employees, and then they send me a business contract for $10,000 like later that month, just from the referral to use my services. So you'd be surprised, guys. And then also too, networking on another level. If you guys, anyone here that's looking to reach a certain person of certain status, right? Here's a quick cheat code that worked for me, and I hope you guys use this, especially if someone's looking for a job. Bypass HR and you get straight to the owner or the CEO. This is how you do it. This worked for me, okay? by doing this trick, I was able to get a hold of the founder of World Star Hip Hop, who almost bought my second website I had 10 years ago. World Star Hip Hop is one of the most popular websites, one of the most trafficked websites in the world. And then another person, I did the website for the Chicago Blackhawks owner at the time, Rocky Wirtz, when I was doing my own social media consulting and website development business. By the way, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I was good at marketing, but everything else I didn't know what I was doing. But I was able to do a website for Rocky Wirtz, and then also Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Colorado Avalanche hockey team. I made these websites for them. I emailed them. I said, well, here's how I emailed them. The most important part. I went on the website of the Chicago Blackhawks, the Colorado Avalanche, and I went in the contact us part. And I looked on there and I said, okay, here's the emails for all the sales reps, and here's the emails for these people and the sales rep. esmith@chicagoblackhawks.com, jcole@coloradoavalanche.com. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to assume what the owner's email is going to be by experimenting. And I would do that, and I would do that, and it worked. I got responses back. They sent me one autographed Jonathan Toews Blackhawks jersey. The other Colorado Avalanche sent me 2 jerseys, a Nathan McKinnon jersey, a Landeskog jersey. And then I was able to, like I said, have the guy from World Star Hip Hop reach out to buy my site at the time. And then I did social media consulting for a B-list actor for a while. And then he was a total weirdo, so I blocked him. But nonetheless, still a cool story. I learned a lot from this. I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool. So this was like, networking coming from different angles, my version of it. And by doing this, I was able to, do free work for these people, and then I could use them as references in the future as well. But yeah, with that being said, I've met a lot of cool people over here. And here's a quick story I met. I was out to dinner one night. After a busy day, sometimes I like to go out by myself and eat by myself in peace and quiet. And I went out to a restaurant, a steakhouse, and I looked to my right and I see this gentleman next to me, and I started chatting with him. I said, hey, I said, how's the meal? He's like, very good. And he's like, I got this filet mignon. And I said, I'm getting the same thing. It looks good. I'm going to get the same. We started talking, and he happens to be a surgeon. And I was like, perfect. I said, I got a lot to ask you. I said, I busted up my knee pretty good here recently. He's like, come in and we're going to talk. We're going to figure it out. This and that's going on. This and that. See? All you have to do is just say hi. And we became good friends now. I live out of that country now. I no longer live in that country, but we still become, good friends. We chat once in a while and see how we're doing and how his family's doing and everything. So, yeah, guys, play some offense. Meet some people. Whoever's around you, just say hi and let life happen. See you next time.